Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So today, I will give a speech about why the Switzerland are so rich, as unraveling the economic system as a part of my task on the subject IIP1010 Shariah Principles in Islamic Economic System. My name is Ahmad Syahmi bin Muhammad Aminuddin, first year and undergraduate student from Academy of Islamic Studies, University of Malaya. At first, I would like to thanks to Dr. Ahmad for giving me this opportunity to challenge myself towards a simple speech, and I hope you guys can gain a lot of knowledge from my video. So, without wasting time, let's get started. As an introduction here, Switzerland, the country that has been known as a big country with a spanning of 41,265 km square, obsession with precision and stunning view of Mother Nature, and famously known for making delicious chocolate and luxurious watches. Wow, who knew? I have one. Swiss made. Okay. Wow. Swiss people doesn't show their personal wealth. Facts show that the country, one of the richest country in the world, with one of the highest GDP per capita of over 80,000 US dollars. That means it's equal to around 364,000 in Malaysia unit. Wait. What is GDP, guys? GDP is gross domestic product per capita. Or what is meant by GDP per capita? GDP per capita means when an economy generates more value per person in that year, that typically translates into more money for those working in that economy. Higher incomes mean families can spend more on the things that they value and need. Not as the other country in this world, Swiss geographical location is probably the worst than the other when we talk about economic success. Has a landlocked, which means it has no direct to the sea of any trade routes, while it also has little natural resources like oil and gas or coal. But the question here, how Switzerland becomes so rich despite of all these disadvantages? Okay, let's jump for reason number one. In a political view, we will see that Switzerland has no president. What is mean by has no president? As we know, every country has their own leader, head of government or prime minister that in charge to manage and administer the country. They will vote for a federal parliament. This means they will choose around 7 people or members that will react as a minister of this country. Besides that, all of these 7 members has the same amount of power, eligibility and level. One of them will take turn to being a Switzerland international representative. Now, this country actually have a direct democracy and neutrality policy, and have prevent them from internal conflicts and wars abroad. Stability also enables Swiss businessmen and government to focus on their resources on developing the countries. This shows that they actually have a real trust among each other and be the true people, and by this their people actually show that their country work as a team. Point number 2. Switzerland also has a rich history as a natural country regardless of war and peace, and has never been involved in a war against a foreign power since 1815. As we know, having a war are the number one enemy of economic progress. Even this country has stayed out from a World War II. Fact shown that this country also has a stand to remain their decision to being a natural beside having a war, and these are a main factor to their success in economic side. Swiss then said that they are not going to the war and kill people, but if other nations want to kill or start the war, we will supply the weapons, and they also provide a safe place to store your wealth. Point number 3. Switzerland has a stable, prosperous and high-tech economy. This is the world's wealthiest country per capita in multiple rankings. The country ranked as one of the least corrupt countries in the world. Besides that, Switzerland also is a home for several large multinational corporations. The largest by revenue are famous company that we know, Nestle, and Mediterranean Shipping Company. Furthermore, notable through the delicious chocolate Toblerone, Zurich Financial Services, a glamour and greatness watch by Rolex, variety product by Tetra Pak, minimalist and simple style of old school and modern watches by Swatch Group, and Swiss International Airlines. From the research, Switzerland's most important economic sector is manufacturing. This country has manufactured products include specialty in chemicals, health and pharmacy goods, scientific and precision measuring instrument, also musical instrument. The largest exported goods are chemical, that will be around 34% of exported goods, while machines and electronics play around 20.9%, and precision instrument and watches will go around 16.9%. It's shown that Swiss actually conquered the service sector, especially banking and insurance, commodity trading, tourism and international organization. Well, since we use all the services and products, I hope that our beloved country will also stand out in the eyes of the world just like Switzerland. Now let's go to the point number 4. Bank, Swiss bank. Banks referred as a tax haven in Swiss, even has been mentioned in Hollywood movies. Swiss actually has no natural resources like the others. This actually creates a force to people to adapt more to savings their money, and the previous generation actually taught them to always be careful in spending their money. This means low consumer are still the culture in the Swiss. In short, they always said, work hard, spend little, and remember to save a lot too. This shows that we need to have a saving for our future and remember to save a lot when we have a lot of money. As the conclusion here, Switzerland has become the world renowned for its wealth and prosperity. Historical, economic and political factors have all contributed to the build-up of Swiss wealth until now. We just learned from my speech that Swiss actually use a direct democracy. Second, they use their stand that they are not going to the war except being a supply. Third, they also provide the variety of service sector. Fourth, they actually play a role in the world of banking. At times, these factors have been influenced by smart business and political decisions. At other times too, it was simply by fate. Whichever this case, Switzerland is now one of the well-known countries in the world and has become hotspot for the mega rich. Islam seeing wealth as a means of human satisfaction in his life as an endeavor to attain prosperity that leads to a good life in this world and hereafter, such as having a great house, either a sport car. Therefore, the quest for wealth is not prohibited in Islam. Allah said in the Quran, هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور. It is He who made the earth tame for you, so walk among its slope and eat of His provision, and to Him is the resurrection. That's all from me. Thank you, and I hope you guys can gain a lot of knowledge from my video speech. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.